Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be doing my episode review for last night's episode of AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. I did not have a chance to do my episode review last night as it got to be too late by the time I got home, but I did see it. I really liked it, and before I start blabbering on and on about it, of course, as usual with all of my episode review videos, especially for shows like Fear the Walking Dead, please be warned that this will be full of big spoilers. So if you have not caught up on season 2 yet, do not keep watching or listening to this video, and once you are caught up, come on back and give it a listen and a watch. You have been warned. That being said, as I had guessed and predicted, the second episode was much more interesting than the first because simply that's just the way it was with the last season. Like the series premiere was great, but the second episode was even better. And I mean that's just my opinion. And I honestly believe this episode was just like that. This was much more interesting than the season premiere. I mean, I liked the season premiere, but I really liked the second episode because now it's like we're really getting into survival mode here. And they quickly established that San Diego's gone thanks to the shipwrecked yacht whose logbook they took from the water in the last episode. It's confirmed that San Diego's been burned to the ground by the military, so that plan's out the door. And then on top of that, the ship that they think is pursuing them is closing in on them, according to Strand's radar. And so Strand's like, hey, let's dock somewhere to the coastline and wait for the ship to pass us. Unfortunately, it's pretty foggy out on the sea, so they can't really see the other ship, and hopefully the ship can't see them. And then they get to Katrina Island with the ranger station where they hope to find some supplies and food. And sure enough, what do they find? A family is living there. And this is where it starts to get interesting because you see what was interesting about this episode is that you've got this family of survivalists. At least the father and the oldest son are both of couple survivalist nut jobs. Well, not nut jobs, but they're intense survivors. And, they didn't necessarily see this coming, but they are prepared. And it's like it showed you the difference between being prepared and not being prepared, because poor Travis throughout this entire episode is repulsed that his son is taking an interest on how to kill walkers, and he's using a pickaxe to get at them through the fence. And he's later talking to the survivalist father, George, and he's like, seems like only yesterday he was taking out the trash, not wanting to clean his room, mowing the lawn, etc. And then the guy simply puts his hand on his shoulder and says, this is how we manage now. Because, Travis, the characters are still taking it all in as to what exactly is happening. But at the same time, they get some much needed information. Because according to the ranger, before losing radio contact, it seems like half of the country is gone. He sincerely believes that the continental divide has been divided, so to speak. Like half the country is gone. Like all up and down the west coast, all of the coastal cities and towns are burning or overrun. In fact, the nearby marina on Katrina Island is supposedly overrun with walkers, and it's only a matter of time before they overrun this house. So it was interesting to see how these particular people were holding out, and I kept thinking the whole time, what is really going on here? What do they plan to do? Do they plan to rob our main characters, kill them, and steal all their stuff? Do they want them to stay? Do they want to go with them? And sure enough, we slowly learn their motives over time throughout the episode, because our characters see the island in the first place thanks to the woman the light in the watchtower going off 2 times, and Madison points out how that could be like a distress call or a call for help. 1 light might be an accident, but 2 lights, and sure enough, the woman wants her 2 youngest children, a young boy and a young girl, she wants them taken off the island because she knows that her husband wants the whole family to commit mass suicide together. And the little boy, when he's showing Nick his room, he keeps talking about these power pills or these power vitamins that's going to keep him and his family safe, which is code for poison, basically, suicide pills. And sure enough, Nick, being the junkie that he is, the junkie with the killer abs, as I like to put it, is looking around, finds nothing in the bathroom, goes upstairs, goes in the father's study. What does he find? Some pills, and he knows they're not for recreation because he's a junkie and he knows his shit. What he tells Travis and Madison later, and Madison's trying to convince Travis, "Oh, come on, we gotta take these kids with us. You know, they can have a future with us." What I also really liked about this episode is that there is a lot of screen time with my two favorite characters, Strand and Daniel. You know, they had a lot of screen time together, just the two of them, because Daniel, not fully trusting Strand, offers to stay on the boat. He and Ophelia stay on the boat while the others check out the ranger station to keep an eye on Strand, while Strand's keeping an eye on Radar. And I just really liked the quips and the quips between the two men back and forth about trusting each other or about survival and shit like that. You know, it's just obviously Daniel doesn't really trust Strand that much, if at all. And it seems like Strand doesn't really trust him either, but they're kind of stuck with each other, which makes it really interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing how their relationship develops and unfolds during the season. And hopefully they both make it during the season, because Strand is so far my favorite character. He's a cool, suave, confident guy who's got something up his sleeve. We don't know what yet, but I wouldn't throw him under the bus quite yet. I wouldn't mark him as a bad man or an evil man. Daniel, on the other hand, is like the subtle, silent badass, this old guy with, you know, years of experience, just handling rough situations in life. And, you know, he's handling this particular rough situation. He does some digging around. He finds a secret map, a map to Baja, California. And then he says Mexico to himself, and he finds a machine gun. And, what I also really liked about this episode was that I knew it was going to be a bit more action-packed than the first one, and sure enough, the last 10 minutes are that, because the poor little girl accidentally ingests one of the pills that Nick probably left out when he forgot to put them away, and so she dies, and then her mother is cradling her body, and sure enough, she's turned, and that was really creepy because her eyes open, it's like, bleh, and she's already reanimated, bites her mother in the throat, and everybody's screaming. The father, George, tells Travis and Madison to take his youngest son to get him away, and then he stays behind. We don't see what he's going to do, but he kind of sits there like he's accepting defeat. And then the older boy comes out with the rifle, and he demands that our characters return his younger brother, and our characters like, "No, we're trying to save him. Your dad told us to take him." "No, my dad wants us all to stay here and survive. We're going to be just fine on our own." And at first I'm like, oh well, at least the little boy will be okay. But no, they end up giving the little boy back to his older brother, and we hear a gunshot. So obviously George has killed himself. Don't know if he killed his reanimated daughter. Probably couldn't do it. And the reanimated wife has already made it down to the docks, and sure enough, it's implied that the older boy shoots her while making his little brother look at the boat and wave goodbye to the yacht, as Madison and Travis and the others are waving bye-bye to the yacht. And it's a pretty intense ending. You know, it makes you go, whoa. You know, as soon as that little girl's eyes open, I'm like, oh, god damn it, she's reanimated. And so it was a good episode, though. Overall, very good episode. I'm intrigued about what Strand's motives really are. And where did he get the satellite phone all of a sudden? I'd like to know that. I mean, did he have that thing already charged or ready? And then, like Daniel pointed out, Strand was very much prepared and already packed before anybody else knew what was happening, before the shit hit the fan back on the mainland back in season 1. So it makes you curious as to what Strand's plans really are and who he's talking to on that phone, and once they find the person he's talking to on the phone, if they're going to be hostile or friendly. So we'll see. But so far it's proving to be very interesting. I like this style of storytelling on the open sea and then making occasional landfall. Third episode looks great from the promos, so I'm very excited about that. Overall, solid episode, very much enjoyable. Get to see how different people are accepting and dealing with the apocalypse. That opening scene with the walkers slowly coming out of the ocean, washing up on the beach, that was scary and looked great. And it was like a literal and metaphorical representation that the dead are now going to outnumber the living in this world from now on. It was just reminding the viewers, reminding all of us that the walkers outnumber the humans. They always have and they always will. And it's like the world is literally full of them, that they're starting to wash ashore because they're filling up the ocean. Not only the land, but they're filling up the ocean as well. And it's a great concept. I love it. So I'm very excited about this season, and I hope they keep this style of storytelling going for the rest of the season. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching this episode review. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content and more episode review videos like this one. Check out some of my old ones and some of the playlists I've created here on my channel. You can find them, and also check out my Facebook page and the link down below. You guys should be able to see it. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fear the Walking Dead, and stay tuned for new episodes every Sunday night on AMC. All right, guys, have a great rest of the night. Thanks for stopping by, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.